After covering the properties of acids and bases, today we are going to learn about the strength of acids and bases. How do we know that how strong are the acids and bases? So let's see how can we find it out. Strength of acids and bases. Now, for this identification of the strength of acids and bases, we can use an indicator which is called as the universal indicator. Universal indicator, which is a mixture of several different types of indicator. Now this type of indicator indicates the different colors because of the different concentration of the hydrogen ion. Now when you have an acid, then it contains hydrogen ions or hydronium ions, and when you have a base, it contains OH minus ions. Now these indicators will show different colors with different concentration of hydrogen ions. Now the scale which is used to measure the hydrogen ion concentration is known as pH scale. Now P for potens and H for hydrogen. Now this potens is a German word which means power. So when you find out the power of hydrogen ion, then that is called pH scale. Now there is a formula also to calculate the hydrogen ion concentration. So let me give you the formula. pH is equal to negative logarithm of hydrogen ion concentration. You will learn about this logarithm in higher classes. For now, you can at least remember the formula. At least you should know the formula. Now, there is a pH scale like this. In this, the pH ranges from 1 to 14. Lower the pH, higher will be the acidic strength. Lower the pH, higher is the acidic strength. So we can say that any solution having pH is equal to 1 will be a strong acid, and if pH is equal to say 6, it is a weak acid because the pH is 6. Now when pH is equal to 7, it is called neutral, and when pH increases more than 7, then the solution is supposed to be alkaline. So we can say any solution having pH say 8 will be weak base, and if pH is 14, then that can be called as a strong base. So the pH scale ranges from 0 to 14, and in between you have a mark which is nothing but pH is equal to 7. That solution becomes neutral. The solution which has pH is equal to 7 becomes neutral, and then after 7, if the pH is more than 7, then the solution becomes alkaline. So below 7 acidic, above 7 alkaline or basic. Now as we learnt in the beginning of the session that the universal indicators, they show different colors when different concentration of H plus ion is there. So how do they show color? Let's see in this diagram. There is this diagram in which for these pH these are the numbers written on the top, they are the pH values, and corresponding colors of the universal indicator is shown. And there are some examples also, like gastric juice that is produced in our stomach, then lemon juice, pure water is 7 and blood is around 7.4, then milk of magnesia, which is a very famous antacid that people take when they get indigestion or acidity, so that has a pH of 10. Then you have sodium hydroxide solution, which is a very strong base or alkali, that has pH is equal to 14. So this is how we are going to see the colors of the universal indicator. Now, as we are talking about the strength of the acids and bases, and we discussed that when pH is less, that is strong acid, and when the pH is more, that is strong base. So we can also say that if concentration of H plus ion is more, then it is a strong acid. And if the concentration of H plus ion is less, then it will be a weak acid. So the strength of the acid also depends on how much amount of H plus ion is present in the solution. Similarly, if you talk about the strength of bases or alkali, if concentration of OH minus ion more, then it is strong base, and if the concentration of OH is less, then it will be weak base or weak alkali. Alright, now as we have learnt about the pH of a solution, then how this pH is applicable in our everyday life. Let us see that how the living system works under which range of pH. Now most of the living bodies, they are stable within this range of pH. pH is equal to 7 to pH is equal to 7.8. So this is the range in which the living organisms survive. If the pH changes, then it hampers the survival of the living organisms. For example, when the pH of rain decreases than 5.6, then this is known as acid rain. Now when it mixes with the water bodies, then the survival of aquatic life is also hampered because of this decreased pH, because we know that within 7 to 7.8 the living organisms survive. If the pH is less than that, then the aquatic life is also hampered. Similarly, apart from the aquatic life, the plants also survive under this range of pH. So when the pH of soil decreases or increases, the survival of plant also is hampered. Apart from this survival of living organisms, in our digestive system also this pH is very much useful. Because we know that inside our stomach the secretion of gastric juice takes place, which is nothing but an acid. It is hydrochloric acid which is secreted, and it is very strong acid. So this facilitates the digestion of food that we eat. Now when the various people get indigestion, which means more amount of acid is secreted inside their stomach, due to which they get indigestion or acidity. At that point of time, we generally take antacids. For example, I was talking about milk of magnesia, which is a very famous antacid. So people generally take that to neutralize the acid which is secreted in our stomach. Apart from that, pH inside our mouth also is very important. It should be around 5.5. Now if the pH decreases below 5.5, then the teeth, which is made up of calcium phosphate, that also undergoes degradation. It is the hardest substance in the body, but it does not dissolve in water. But still, if the pH decreases, then this will also start undergoing degradation. So pH of our mouth is also important. Now bacteria present inside our mouth, they produce acids by eating. So best way to prevent is to keep our mouth clean after eating, so that more amount of acids will not be produced. Similarly, there are some animals and plants which protect themselves by secreting various types of acids. For example, honeybee. Honeybee secretes a kind of acid which causes pain and irritation. Like in this case, you can use a mild base like baking soda on the stung area, which gives us relief. Even stinging hair of nettle leaves, which secretes methanoic acid, that also causes burning. Now this nettle is a herbaceous plant which grows in the wild, but its its leaves have stinging hair which create pain and irritation if it is touched. So because of the secretion of methanoic acid. So these are few examples where the animals and the plants, they protect themselves by secreting various types of acids. So I hope the part pH of acids and the strength of acids and bases are clear to you all. Thank you.